Hello and welcome to another Franchise Hockey Manager stream. My name is Adam. I'm the community manager of Franchise Hockey. With me, as always, and digitally pictured on your screen is FHM producer Jeff. Say hi, Jeff.
Hi, Jeff.
And we are back with Rewriting History Montreal Canadiens 1932-33 season back on top, part 22. Jeff, after years and years and years of failure, you finally defeated someone to win the Stanley Cup again.
It wasn't exactly
About
failure.
time.
We had a winning record the whole time. Just for several years, the New York Americans were they still are at this point, an extremely good team. And yeah, just looking at it now, geez, they got Hainsworth.
Awesome.
Apparently traded for him in the offseason. So now they got an even better starting goalie. So how did they get him? They got traded Davy Kerr, who's going to be a good player eventually, and a couple of throw-ins. So I figure their time is winding down, so they're going to give the old guy one last shot. And the other, two new things this year. One isn't exactly new. The Ottawa Senators are back after taking a year off. The way this works in the game right now, they start with a completely new roster. They have to sign free agents, so they've filled in as best they can. It's mostly amateur level guys, draft picks. A couple of guys have been out of the NHL for a couple of years. Jack Cameron, who had been their goalie before they left the league, he's back. But I think we're going to be changing that in the game, probably in FHM 11, where so they'll get the players who leave them in 31-32 when as long as they're still under contract. We'll go back to them for the 32-33 season. But it doesn't do that right now, so they're going to be a punching bag for a couple of years. Then they'll go to St. Louis for a season, and they'll be bleeding money the whole time and eventually disappear entirely as the NHL continues to get smaller as we go through the Great Depression. The other big change is the Detroit Falcons are now the Detroit Red Wings with this lovely sort of abbreviated version of the Wings logo. The wing is really tiny originally for some reason. That's happened because Big Jim Norris has bought the team. He had originally tried to get the the team that became the Chicago Blackhawks. Lost a bidding war for that with Frederick McLaughlin. Tried to run, I think it was the American Hockey Association team, which eventually they renamed themselves to the American Hockey League. Although it isn't that American Hockey League, it's just happened to use the same name. He had, I think it was the Chicago Shamrocks in that league, which he was sort of trying to compete with the NHL, but not very well. And the NHL eventually tried to persuade Norris to jump on board with them by selling him the Falcons. He had been a member of the Montreal Amateur Athletic Association
Many years
ago, and that is where the logo came from, because that is the logo the AAA used for at least their hockey and football teams. I don't know if they used it in other contexts. Oh no, presumably they were originally a cycling club. So that's, I guess, where they got the idea for the wheel with the wings on it. And that stuck on the other teams as well. And he liked that idea, so went with that for the Wings' new logo. And that's what it's going to look like with minor variations for the next, it's, what is it, 68, 90, 92, 93 years ongoing. So, and this is the point, and in the game, they're finally starting to look pretty good. They're got a decent goalie, up and coming Earl Robertson, who in real life, just to show his stats, had been the Americans goalie for the sort of the end of their run, basically. But he's taken over in goal for them. The D isn't looking great. They got a pretty good bunch of forwards. Sid Howe was, actually started out in Ottawa and played that season in St. Louis, and then wound up going to Detroit. But in the game, he started with Detroit, and he's been with them all along. He's up to 4 stars now. So they got a pretty solid player. So they're a contender, I think, in the American division. We're about to lose the divisions, too. When Ottawa goes under and we start losing other teams, we'll eventually drop back down to a non-divisional league. But for now, we've got this two divisions set up with the weird playoff system where the first place teams play each other, second place teams play each other, and third place teams play each other. Don't know why they did that. Doesn't really make sense, but that's what we're stuck with for these few seasons. And as far as we go, we did have one big retirement in the off season. Buck Boucher, our captain, who'd kind of been winding down, but we still kind of wanted him for defensive depth. He retired, so Howie Moranz has taken over as the captain for him. Other
Good
than
choice.
that, yeah, not a lot of major changes. Pretty much the lineup we won the cup with. Babe Siebert sprained his ankle, so he's out to start the season, our best defenseman. But we're going to play, we got Leo Bourgeot, I think, in for him for a few games. When as soon as Siebert comes back, we'll redo the lines. But might as well get the season kicked off now against Boston. And forgot to assign the number to somebody. Bill McKenzie, I think I signed him as a free agent. Or did I just, no, I signed him last year as a free agent and just called him up now. So the opener against Boston, pretty good team in Boston, and they beat us 1-0. Mike Caracas, great Hawks goalie in real life, shuts us out in the opener. So not great, but we'll keep going here. And Siebert is ready. So let's, he's perfectly healthy, even better. So swap Bourgeot in for him, and then I can do the lines properly now. Don't think I want to change the dress list any. Lauren Carr has been a little bit slow developing, not a major concern yet, but we'll keep an eye on him. McKenzie and Buswell take their time down a little bit. But other than that, okay, the one other thing that's coming along here, Roy Waters is about to be pushed out of his job by Wolf Cute in goal. Cute's potential now is actually higher than Waters', as Waters has declined to 2.5 stars, but I think we'll keep him in goal for now. But we may be making a change depending on how the development goes through the season. And we get the newly named Red Wings next at home, and come out with a 4-2 win on that. That's a little better.
Wrong, or did the Canadiens logo change this year too? I feel like it's different than the last year.
Yeah, I think it's starting to look like the modern one now, isn't it?
Yeah,
And
I just noticed that.
yeah, 5-0 shutout over the Hawks. Yeah, I think it goes through some minor changes from this point, but that's basically what it is. Well, forever from this point.
Now I'm gonna have to go to the graphics pack to take a look.
And big 6-2 loss to the Red Wings. Sid Howe, 3 points in the first star, so 500 to start the year. And we're looking at we got the Americans, so this is going to be a tough game. Johnny Gagnon, a little unhealthy for low fitness for some reason. He's been that way for a couple of games now, worth keeping an eye on. And we squeeze out a 4-3 win. That's going okay. Well, I can't do anything with the Red Wings because Joe Lamb is out for a couple of weeks, so Carr will go in for him. Other than that, no changes, I don't think. Road game in Chicago. And 4-2 loss, back to 500. Seem to be playing a lot of the American teams. Still a lot to start off with, although we're at the point now where the Canadian teams are well in the minority. And now across town against the Maroons, and 6-1 win. I think the Maroons finally made the playoffs. That's how we got, if I remember right from last season, we wound up winning the Cup. Just going to double check it. Yeah, they pulled off the upset in the first round, knocked off Boston, and then the Rangers also surprised the Americans, so that gave us probably as easy a path as we could have had to the final, and we did take 5 games to do it, but well, we still won. And Leafs up next for a 1 win. Okay, so it doesn't really look like it was a fluke winning in the playoffs last year. We seem to be doing pretty well. And rematch of the finals against the Rangers. And they win 5-3 this time. So, interesting. That's the Rangers have started really hot. So, even though that was an upset, them getting to the finals, it looks like they've turned into a pretty good team. Charlie Conacher, 5-star player for them now. The D, other than Tom Anderson, is not looking good, and the goaltending is just terrible. Oh, it looks like Ironstone, who was done in Detroit. So he got pushed out by Robertson. Robertson got traded to the Rangers at the start of the year. So see if he has a comeback there. And we got an injury here. The backup goalie, Wolf Cute. So he's day-to-day. We'll just call up Geddes. I think my roster is one player too big, so I will just put Cute on the injured list, even though he won't be gone for that long. Oh, it looks like Lamb was back. I forgot to put him in. 3-2 win. And we just hope we don't get any injuries to the starter while he's spending his time on the injured list. Okay, Shepard out this. Oh, Shepard with a herniated disc. He's slowed down a little bit, but he's still a pretty decent winger. So Pitlapan kind of played his way off the starting lineup as goes back in. Carr back up to 2 stars at least, but still not good enough to push Lamb out of the lineup. Other than that, Buswell's off to a pretty fast start, so I'll leave him in, even though he's down to half a star. And easy 5-2 win over the Senators. Johnny Gagnon on all 5 points, so apparently he's fixed his fitness situation, whatever that was. And another shot at the Rangers, see if we can slow them down a little. And we can, 2-1 win, nice.
Well done. Now we're getting back into a better scoring era, right?
It was super low scoring, and then they made a bunch of major rule changes. What was it? Yes, you can see where the scoring goes in the game from 3.67 goals a game to, that's between 2 teams, to 6.11. It's actually even bigger than that in real life. And it's leveled off a little bit since then, but yeah, much higher, like a full 2 games higher, 2 goals a game higher than what it used to be. Which was good because that's the all-time scoring low for the NHL in the late 20s, and got a little ridiculous at that point. And we just got shut out by the Maroons, and Davey Kerr, who they picked up in that trade, gets a shutout on 44 saves, and he's off to an okay start with them. Actually, what's going on in the rest of our division? They're actually in second place, so fairly solid. The Americans kind of struggling, back in third. Leafs at 500, and the Senators have actually won 3 games somehow. That's a surprise.
Mm-hmm.
And Q, the backup goalie, is almost back, and we got blown out badly by the Americans. Cooney Wayland with a hat trick.
Oof.
So Q can go back on the roster, and yeah, Ward is still a little bit ahead of him. Looks like he stayed in for that whole blowout loss. And Leduc apparently had an injury, but he's back now. But we also got McKenzie out, so shin splint. So Bourgeau goes back in for him. We can't start to get a little winning streak going here. I think I may make some changes at forward. 3-2 win in overtime over the Leafs. And McKenzie is back already, although he's only at 80% fitness, so I'm going to leave Bourgeau in for this game. Yeah, 5-2 loss to the Bruins. Need to be a little more consistent here. I'm going to try Couture out for Carr for a couple of games. Okay, Shepard might as well go out on the injured list. He's gone for 2 months, and leave it like that, although I can always call somebody up if I need to.
Sorry, why is he gone for 2 months? What did he get hurt with?
That's Johnny Shepard, herniated disc in his back.
Ouch.
Yeah, he's in his 30s. Back problems are starting.
Fair enough, I guess.
And there we go. Now we're on track. 7-0 win over the Wings. Although we dropped down into third place now, although it's a very close race and we've got a game in hand. Although we do have Chicago here. They're one of the weaker teams this season. And good. 5-2 win. Owner is satisfied. And not particularly oriented one way or the other, so good enough. Oh, Joliet's actually having pretty good scoring here. Just going to take a quick look at our stats because we're, well, not quite to halfway point, but Bill Cowley is starting to break out. That's good news. Although he's got a minor injury at the moment. Moran's, yeah, first line is producing decent, second line scoring. Oh, it looks like I didn't realize Couture was doing that well. I should have swapped him for, or swapped Carr for Lamb instead of Couture, so I will change that right now. And Cowley just got just does a minor cut so he can stay in. 5-0 shutout over the Wings.
While this continues, Jeff, teams are starting to show up to train for the real regular season in the NHL current. There's
an unreal regular season?
Well, I mean, well, not the preseason. The preseason is what I was trying to not say, and because it wasn't coming to me. Rookie camps are going in.
Yep, seeing a few pro tryouts being signed. Utah just signed. So picked up Yamamoto on a tryout today, so they're thin enough at forward. You can help them.
Pacioretty signed with the Leafs on a PTO, expected to sign a contract.
Yeah, that'll, I think, turn into a good deal for the Leafs. He isn't that far gone already unless he wants a lot of money.
Well, I think it's more as if his knees hold up. Akinpal signed with the Leafs today, too.
Yep, I saw that. Yeah,
actually, from what I heard, Pacioretty isn't signing until they get stuff figured out, but it sounds like he's not going to sign until they trade Robertson.
Why does it depend on that?
Cap. Or there anything else that Leafs have some cap issues?
Oh, the Rangers have really slid back from that fast start. They're just above 500 now. They get a tie with us, and I think that puts them, second in their division. Although Boston's very close, and we're getting a little separated from the top here. Another tie, so Lamb can go back into the lineup. Carr is still stuck at 2 stars and not really doing anything yet. So
yeah, I kind of need him to step up, but maybe he can't.
And the Hawks want to trade Pete Belfoy, who's a minor leaguer, playing for us. Oh, that's actually a pretty decent deal. Alex Shabicki. Oh, wait, does he fit any of our... He's from Winnipeg. Only played for the Rangers, so we're going to have to stick with our house rule here and reject that because we're only taking guys who are from Quebec, are French Canadian, or played for the Canadiens in real life. I guess we'll stick with that rule a while longer. Would have been a good trade, but...
or if they're from the East Coast.
Yeah, we only use that one if we're really desperate and can't fill the roster or make a draft pick.
I mean, there's been a couple guys we looked at who were from like Nova Scotia or whatever.
Yeah. But win over the Leafs there, and oh, we're doing better. But Montreal or the Maroons and the Americans have taken off as well. So we kind of need to pull the Americans back to us here with this game. And we managed to get shut out instead. And the Americans want to make a trade now. And also for Belfry, so even if I don't make this, I may shop them. From Saskatchewan, never played for the Canadiens, so again, got to turn that one down, unfortunately. Yeah, he's far enough down the list that I think we can afford to lose him. Let's see if we get. I'll try asking just for picks first. Nobody wants to give up a pick for him. And nobody responds to the shopping attempt either, so that's not going to work. See if there's anybody on the trading block that's worth picking up. Baldy Cotton from Toronto, or the Bruins, but nope, doesn't fit for us. And after that, well, maybe a depth defenseman if there's one. Giroux, I don't think ever played for Canadians. Gallagher's the only other option, I guess, and he's from Western Ontario, played for the Maroons, but not the Canadiens. So, can't really do anything there. Oh, Dunk Monroe, who I think we had way back in this game. Yeah, like in 1924. Chicago's trying to get rid of him. I wonder if I can just go even up for Belfry with him. Yep, they'll do that. So our defensive depth gets a little better. Bergeau can go to the minors. Laswell can start sitting out, and we've got a half-star improvement on our bottom pair. How is Shepard coming along? He's day-to-day, so he's almost back. And I think that'll be enough to go into the playoffs with. Oops, forgot to give... Monroe a number. And with the addition of Monroe, we cruised to a 6-0 win over Ottawa. And I'm praising Joe Lamb, which is odd because he hasn't been that impressive this season. We'll just emphasize the team effort on that one. And shutout over Toronto. How are we doing in the standings now? Okay, really tight race. 2 points separating first from third, and unfortunately we're in third at the moment. And yeah, okay, the American has really slipped after their strong start. All the teams are under 500 now. So the Leafs may wind up missing the playoffs despite a winning record. And another shutout, this time over the Maroons. Shepard is ready to go. Good. So Lepin, well, did okay, I guess, in no goals but 8 assists in 20 games. It did reasonably well when Shepard was out.
Yeah, not terrible. Depends what you're looking for, I guess,
Yeah,
right? More than anything
and
else.
yeah, 3-2 win over the Americans, and I think I forgot to. Oh no, I did. Well, not entirely. I've got a few guys I need to resign still. McKenzie, who's still got a little potential. Give him another 3-year deal. And Monroe is 32. What's he want? 2-year. Well, okay, we'll take him back. Anybody else we're about to lose? Those two are the key ones. Bunch of half stars. Might as well keep those two young defensemen down. We got lots of. Oh, okay. Hoke doesn't want to re-sign. Does Duran? Duran doesn't want to re-sign either. I'll talk to us in July. No free agency now, so they'll probably change their story by that point. 3-0 win over the Hawks. And McKenzie and Murray both signed. That's good. And we are on top for now, at least.
Take what you can get.
And what we can get there is an 8-3 win over the Wings. And Joliet considering continuing his strong season, another hat trick. Oh, wow, Babe Siebert, 6 points in that game. And Joliet has actually pushed past Herbie Lewis for the scoring lead. He was well back the last time I looked. So he's really come on strong there. And yet another easy game against Ottawa that we somehow managed to lose 6-4. That's not great. Blew a 2-1 lead. They gave them 3 goals in a row, and yeah, we were just out of that one. Can't afford to be losing games like that. But we bounced back with a shutout over the Rangers. How many shutouts does Waters have this year? He's off to 8 shutouts already. I think that's probably not a career high because of the freakishly low scoring years. There's. I mean, you can see what happened that one season. 13 shutouts and .99 goals against average. Adam, did we lose you there?
No.
Oh,
No.
No.
Why?
No, I made a weird noise. Discord made a weird noise, and I don't know if that was you or it.
I didn't hear anything, so I can't say anything for sure.
And another American team that we should be able to beat. Bruins, 6-4 win. Not the tightest game in the world, and then off to Chicago next. There we lose 4-1. Yeah. Way too insistent, and Johnny Shepard is injured again. Foot contusion 1 or 2 weeks. Not as bad as last time, but he has not had much luck this season. 17 games, and everybody else has played, was it 37? So he's going to wind, in the end, he's going to wind up having missed about half the year. And 4-2 win over the Maroons this time. Oh boy, starting goalie did something dumb. Fortunately, it didn't cause any morale issues with the other players. So we're just going to go no comment on that to the media, since it didn't really mess up the. Oh, I didn't realize we had Spinning harmony issues. Let's try and calm that down a little bit. And 4-2 win over the Americans. That's good. That's a 4-point game for us. There, Hen Waters, despite whatever he did off the ice, is the player of the month, or the goalie of the month. And now we got some room here. 4 points up on the Americans, 6 on the Maroons, 9 over Toronto. That's not really a factor anymore, and way in front of the other division. The click is broken up on its own. Now the Americans and Hainsworth do shut us out there. And work on the harmony a little more. Yep, broke up another click, and I think we're just about back to perfect team harmony, which is good. Don't need any distractions going into the playoffs. 4-2 win over the Leafs. And 7 games to go, and the Americans are getting close again. And that's another tie against the Leafs. 3 points over New York with a game in hand. And should be fine as far as the Maroons. If we can get this win here, that should more or less eliminate the Maroons' chances. Yep, 4-2 win. So they are well back now. But it cost us Battleship Leduc. Hopefully not for very long. No, broken toe 1 to 2 months. You know what? You're going to play on it.
Oh, that's being mean.
He's tough. He can do it. Yet another tie, this time with the Wings. And then another shutout against the Maroons. Oh boy, that's worrying. Hi, Maroons is hurt. This is a big problem if it's a long one. Sore quad, 1 to 2 weeks, and we have 2 weeks left in the regular season. So let's let him sit for now, and hopefully he's back. Shepard is ready to play again. So what I will do is swap him in for Lepin, and Lepin goes out for Morenz. Or Morenz goes out for Lepin. Our Lamont are doing reasonably well, so I'm not going to take them out for now. Use the AI to reset the lines with Morenz out. And the Rangers beat us 3 to 2. And the Bruins beat us 4 to 3. Not a good time to be struggling. And now we got Johnny Gagnon with a day-to-day injury. Oh, we had lots of little injuries. Cowley, Haynes. Fortunately, we got a little time off here. Oh, and it looks like the Duke's injury has gone to red. So, I'm going to have to take him out. Put him on the injured list because we're not going to be able to play him anymore. And hope for the best on this little break we've got here. Oh, we're almost at the end of the regular season, too. We're up by... that 1 game left to go in the season, and the top 3 teams are separated by 2 points. Oops, I'm missing a defenseman there, I think. All right, Buzzwell, I didn't put in... And that's good news. 3-0 shutout. It's over an opposite division team, so yeah, neither the Maroons nor the Americans can catch us, so we're good there. That guarantees first place for us. And also gets us a bye through the first round. So all New York series on one side of the opening round and Maroons Wings on the other. And the standings went up the Leafs. Now the Leafs were fairly far back. Ottawa, surprisingly, 10 wins this season. So take a quick look at who they managed to get some scoring out of. Oh, okay, Neil Colville, their rookie. Ranger great in real life. Turned out a huge year for them, and everybody else is pretty quiet.
Fair enough.
So we'll get the Bruins at the start of the semifinals. And we'll see how those other two series turn out. Okay, Leduc is skating again. That's good news. So the Americans, best of 3 first rounds now. They get past the Rangers 2-1, so they avenge that upset from last year. And the Maroons, not surprisingly, beat the Wings 2-0. 2-game sweep. Now, what's going on with our lineup? Can Leduc play? No, he cannot. Morenz, however, can. So redo the lineup for the playoffs. I think that looks okay. I'm going to try Cowley on the second line. Oh, no, I don't want, well, I only need 2 playmakers. They're going to shift. Can Haynes play something else nearly as well? Not really, but I'm going to make him perimeter shooter just so I don't have 2 playmakers on the same line. And opening playoff game, we get shut out 4-0 by the Bruins, and this is best of 5 if I remember correctly. Yep, 1-0 best of 5. And they're saying Buswell was undermined by his teammates. Buswell is arguably the worst player on the roster, so that seems highly unlikely. So let's go with the moderately negative response. Am I screwing my media relationship up? Ooh, media's gone back to negative.
Oof.
It was possible. It was positive for a while there. And no Leduc 2 for the second game against Boston. These are best of 5 series, so we really need a win here. And just barely get one. 1-0. And outshot them pretty badly, so reasonably solid game all the way around. Probably could have scored a little more. That was Gagnon with the only goal. And Monroe, the depth pickup at the trading deadline, gets an assist. Do we have Leduc back? No, we don't. Still 1 to 2 weeks. See, if I hadn't put him on the, or I hadn't tried to keep him playing after first getting the injury, he would have been back by now and probably healthy.
Well, such as what you deal with when you take chances.
Game 3 against the Bruins in Boston now. And 5-0 shutout. Much better. Leduc, no, and now Joe Lamb is hurt. Day-to-day, so Carr can go in for him. That's not a big loss. What's going on in the other series? The Americans are up 2-1. Okay, we need to take this game in Boston to get the series. And just barely pull it off. 4-3 in overtime. Overtime winner scored by Paul Haynes just under 5 minutes in. And Lamb is healthy again.
You feeling confident?
Yeah, debating here. How is he doing in the playoffs before he got hurt? Wasn't doing anything. Pointless in 3 games. I'm going to leave Carr in for 1 game. Oh, well, Bedswell, 4 points in 4 games. Wait, where's Moran's? Did I just, oh, there, yeah. 4-3. 4 games played, 3 points. Need a little bit more scoring and, all Montreal final. The first time that's happened, I think, since, what, the 1890s or so? I don't think
Definitely has been quite some time.
Yeah. And still no Albert Leduc. Any day now. So, all games played in the Montreal Forum, but we are the home team nominally for the first game, which we win 3-1. Oh, that's
that's got to be the more interesting thing.
Did they... Davy Kerr out due to injury. And Jerry Cosby, who never played in the NHL, was a long-time minor league goalie, but he's best known for running the sporting goods store in Madison Square Garden for several decades, and I think it still is Jerry Cosby Sports. I'm pretty sure it's still there. Game 2, 3-0. So I think we're going to make short work of them.
That seems like a dangerous thing to say.
And guess what? Leduc shows up for the last game. I'll take McKenzie out because Buswell's been playing so well. Oh, and, well, no, Lamb's back, but we've been doing well with Carr, so leave that as it is. And can we get the sweep here?
No.
Yes, we can. 4-0 win to get our 2nd cup in a row as another Canadiens dynasty is well underway.
It's not a dynasty yet.
Need one more for that, really. Yeah.
Yes.
We did have 4 in a row and 5 in 6 years. 2 cups for us now. Hopefully,
you got to win three in a row, or 2 or 3 in 4 years for it to be a dynasty.
Does 3 and 4 years count?
I would consider.
Yes, yeah.
Okay,
well, nowadays with the bigger league, yeah, I'd say that counts.
No, it depends how you do. Like if you won 2 and then you finish in last place and then you won the next year, I would say that's not a dynasty. If you won 2, made the playoffs but lost out, and then won the next year, I would say that's a dynasty.
And Roy Waters gets the Conn Smythe Trophy, so he hangs on for another year, although he is down to 2 stars. That may be his... he had a great season, but that might be his last hurrah because Cute is really pushing him for the starting goalie job. We'll see what happens coming out of camp next year.
I'll stop trading all our goalies to everybody else.
Cute's, I mean, he was a Montreal goalie for basically the back half of the 30s. So we're actually going with the right guy. Could get somebody for Waters right now, probably. I tried on July 1st. I'll get some staff to renew. And they're all re-signed up. Take a quick look at our stats for the season. Figure out his role. Yeah, the first line did great that year. And solid numbers from the second line as well. Cowley had okay numbers, slowed down a little bit after the hot start. Less scoring. Well, now Seabird had 38 points in 47 games, so that's pretty good for a defenseman in this era. And playoffs, what did Warriors do in the playoffs to get the MVP? Oh yeah, 1.08 goals against average. Only 8 goals against in 7 games. And yeah, Cowley surprisingly leading us. Oops, no, I had to scroll. Well, okay, big tie for leading scorer. 4 different guys with 6 points, but none of them are on. Oh no, Gagnon's on the first line, but the other 3 aren't. So we got secondary scoring in the 2 playoff series. Pretty happy with the performance this year. And another good season score. Don't have any points to spend it on. And we'll turn it over to the new season. I don't think there are any team changes this year. Nope, nothing. And the owner is happy with us. Doesn't look like we have any retirements either. So we will be drafting Glass, a 9th overall, so I don't think we're going to get anything that great out of this. Just double check. Nobody retired at all? No, it doesn't look like it. Oh, I was going to try to shop Warriors. I forgot about that. Not necessarily going to move them. Let's just see if we get anything interesting back. No, we do not. Terrible defenseman on a 3rd rounder from the Rangers. And the Ottawa just wants to trade us their current goalie for him. So, no. Any free agents floating about? Who's Bert Sharfa? Never made the NHL in real life. Doesn't really qualify for us. Well, the France. Oh, well, I was going to say he sort of qualifies for the French name, and coming from a French town, but he played for the Canadiens anyhow, so not that great, but let's just grab him for the sake of depth. And on to the draft. So 3 big names at the top: Frankie Brimzik, Silaps, and Bobby Bauer. And a few decent players after that. Not sure how many of them are going to be left, or if there's going to be anybody. If there's anybody we can use by the time it gets to us, though. So Ottawa, which will only be around for a couple of seasons, picks first. Probably going to go with Brimzik, I imagine. Nope, Silaps. So Silaps will be a free agent in 2 years. Brimzik goes to the Hawks. So the Hawks have basically swapped their goalies from the 1930s with the Bruins. Hawks get Frank Brimzik, who was a Bruin, and the Bruins have Mike Caracas, who was a Hawk. Bobby Bauer probably next to the Leafs. And 2nd, 3rd line types getting down to us. And yeah, 1.5 star potential. So see a couple of French names. Let's just check anybody in. The others: Art Jackson. Nope. Didn't ever play for the Canadiens. Eddie Wares. No. Joe Shack. Oh, it failed. Played 9 games, so he's an option. Mike McMahon, who can't remember if he's related or not. There's another Mike McMahon that played in the 70s. Pretty decent WHA player. I think that might be his father. And Joffre Desilets and Red Goipi, however you say that. who is
Sounds
a
about as good as I would say.
pretty solid defenseman. Maybe, oops. Man had the longer career. But let's go with Gopi. He's got, I think, slightly more upside. And the next rounder, we got all of our picks in this one. 3 guys left, but none of them. Obviously, French Canadian. Oh, Dutch Hiller. That's actually a decent player and a real life Canadian. And we took a defenseman in the first round, so we'll use our second rounder on him. Sprout have any connection with us? Doesn't look like it. For Mooseman. I've been there.
Not very close to Quebec, though.
No. So what else we got here? Anybody from Quebec? Pete Morin. And also, we had one decent year for the Canadians. Oh, that's a war year. That's why. I'll take him, but his numbers are probably pumped up because the league was very talent depleted at that point. And no, we still got 1-star guys. Marcel Tremblay, another. Oh no, that's pre-war. But still, he's French and seems like the best option, so we'll take him. And LaFrance signed with us. We need to get the unsigned rookies. Anybody else on the list that we want? Copy. Oh, the guys that didn't want to sign with us. Let's see if they want to talk now. Yes, they do. Hoke and who is the other one? Duran. How am I doing on contract space here? Oh yeah, lots of room. 50 players to sign. So I can take a couple more of the draftees. Hiller. Actually might be able to take them all. Okay, and they should all sign. Try that Warder shop again. Yeah, well, even worse off from the Rangers this time, an old defenseman. And still, yeah, the same goalie offered back from the Senators. So he may be playing backup this year. Would have liked to get a little more value out of him. Wait, actually, what if I... Oops. Try to package Warders. Oh, I already shopped them once today. I got to go a day forward. Or a few days forward. Now what I want to try doing here is package warders with Lapin, who's headed downhill but still has, I think he's still at 2 stars. For now, and do we get anything back this way? There we go. Okay, better defenseman, or no, that's not from the Rangers, that's from the Maroons. Decent defenseman, George Owen. Bearing in mind here, we're getting rid of our backup goalie, guy who's going to be the backup, so he's probably not going to play at all this season, unless there's an injury and a sort of spare forward.
Who was at one time one of our stars?
Not quite a star, but decent.
Well, he was pretty important.
I think we're going to do that one, send him across town, and George Owen will beef up our defense.
Let's say send him across. We're literally sending him to the other dressing room in the arena. We don't want you in this dressing room. You go to the other dressing room.
Oh, there they go. Oh, I didn't. I should have looked. I forgot the rule for a second there. Is Owen have any relation to us? No, he's from Hamilton. They only play for the Bruins. Although we made the trade with the Maroons, so that feels okay to me. I'll justify it that way. Do we have... I got a 1-star backup in Geddes. Are there any free agents out there? Okay, yeah, the usual collection of sort of career backups. Okay, Abby Cox played for the Canadiens, so he's probably the one we go with. Yep.
Great name. How many games did he play for the Canadiens? Not a lot.
A grand total of 0. Oh no, 1. There we go. He was part of in the Canadian system in 30 and 31, and then finally played 1 game in 1935.
Fair enough.
And a bunch of new numbers to assign. Uh, 9 I will save for somebody else. Okay, going to have a new goalie going into this season, but we did improve our defensive depth. Yeah, Owen's a solid 2 stars, so we're not going to have to play half-star guys on D anymore, at least until somebody declines. It looks like Leduc is headed that way. He's down to 1.5. Left wings still look like... I'm missing one. Oh no, I was using one of the centers left. Cowley's left wing.
Which isn't a bad thing.
Yeah. And just roughly set up the lines for next season. I'll do this. Oops. Did I miss a defenseman? 1, 2, 3. 3, 4, 5. Oh. Wait, that feels like somebody... Oh, I guess not. Mantha, Siebert, Leduc. No, they're all there. Kenzie gets the last spot then. And just roughly setting up the lines for next year. Pretty much what we won the cup with this year, just a little bit more defensive depth and a new goalie. And have the Senators improved much? Well, I've got Apps and Colville. I've got a couple of decent players. Not much else. So this will be their last season in Ottawa. Then they go to St. Louis for one, and then they're gone. But I think we've got a decent shot at repeating next season. Making it 3 in a row. So do you want to wind it up there, Adam?
Sure.
Oh, to one chat question. When's the new game coming out? We'll probably be announcing something fairly soonish, but it'll be most likely earlier than last year. All I can say for now.
Yeah. All right, with that, thank you very much for tuning into the Franchise Hockey Manager stream. We typically stream every Wednesday night at 11 p.m. Eastern on twitch.tv/Franchise Hockey Manager, as well as twitch.tv/OOTP Developments. All of our streams are archived on our YouTube channel, which is youtube.com/OOTP Developments, with our stream archives going live at about 3 a.m. Eastern Standard Time on Saturdays for our European viewers. You can also reach out to us on our Facebook page, which is facebook.com/Franchise Hockey Manager. On Twitter, we are at Franchise Hockey. You can find a link to our official Discord in our Twitter bio. And, of course, you can come on down to our official website, which is ootpdevelopments.com. Click on the community button in the top right-hand corner, which will bring you to our official forums. You can come talk about Franchise Hockey Manager, Out of the Park Baseball, Perfect Team Go, or anything else you wish to discuss. Jeff will be back next week with our Pittsburgh Penguins game, with only Letang left in, as he pauses and looks,
Yeah, I think that
2027.
No, you must. There's other guys in the starting lineup, isn't there? Yeah, not far ahead. I mean, Crosby retired, but
Crosby's gone, Malkin's gone, Rust is still there. That might be it.
But yeah, new look Penguins are actually doing fairly decently.
Yeah, we'll have to go back and look. We'll look first year versus current year, I guess. One of our things to look at, but we shall see.
Okay, so thanks everybody for coming out, and we will be back a week from now.